Throttle Up Biker Bible. Oh, let me try that again. Good evening, Throttle Up Biker Bible Study. How are we doing tonight?
Good.
I get people at the Recovery Alive on that every Tuesday night, except last night, of course. But I'll do something real real quiet and shy. And they're like, "No, do what you normally do." And then I give them the and they all scream. They think it's fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's just something different, you know. I like that.
And fun.
It is
Welcome
fun.
to church.
Yeah, I can't be that way. If I'm going to talk about the Word of God, I'm going to get excited. Usually because I get out of the way and let Him do it. Let me open us up with a word of prayer, and we'll talk some more about 2 Kings. Heavenly Father, Lord God, again, we thank you for this place that you've given us, this time that you've given us to be together, to talk about what the Word says, so that we can understand how to apply it to our lives. Thank you, Lord, for these people that are here and those that will watch online later on. Thank you again for everything you're doing to us, through us, and for us in this place. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, before we go any further, I know you two have heard it, but for Mrs. Rose's benefit, this is the last one of these I'm doing this year.
Okay.
Because next week is Christmas Eve and the week after is New Year's. So.
I thought you was going to catch me.
Well, I would catch you if I said this is the last one I ever do.
Well, that would be. It could be.
See?
Could be. It's getting close.
Yeah. Anyway, so 2 Kings, again, you know, when we talk about the kings of Israel and the kings of Judah, both of them are listed in the book of 2 Kings. And the book of Chronicles are about the kings of Judah only. So just keep that in mind. So tonight we're going to talk about a good king of Judah. And there is no good king in Israel. But we also have to talk about a bad king in Judah. There's not many of those, but all of them in Israel were bad. So look at this. In chapter 18, verse 1, it says, "In the 3rd year of Hosea, the son of Elah, king of Israel." So right off the bat, here's a king that's no good, right? It says, "Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz, king of Judah, began to reign." So this is giving you a time frame that we can actually trace back and know exactly when this is. 789 to 790 BC. Right? I mean, is that what their calendar would say?
No, because they weren't expecting Christ to come.
That's a joke. It's one of those funny kind of things. Anyway, yeah, but we know, listen to this, we know that this is right before the Babylonian and Mayo Babylonian captivity. Okay, so this is right before everything falls apart for Israel and Judah. Israel's going to fall apart first. Watch this. Verse 2 says, "He was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned for 29 years in Jerusalem." That's a pretty good run. "His mother's name was Adi, the daughter of Zechariah." Verse 3 then says, "And he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, according to all that his father David had done," or David his father had done. Now watch this. Verse 4 should shout at you, and you should get excited about it, because look at it. It says, "He removed the high places." Remember? Finally. You know, all these kings had taken over and done good in the sight of the Lord, except they didn't remove the high places. What are the high places?
Where you're praising other gods. At the hilltops.
Yes and no. They were built so you didn't have to go all the way to Jerusalem to go to church.
Yeah.
But they also use them to celebrate other gods, which is exactly what they're not supposed to do, right? So it says that he removed them all from the high places and broke the pillars and cut down the Asherah. He broke into pieces the bronze serpent that Moses had made. You remember the bronze serpent? Remember, we just talked about it. It's on the front of his shirt there, right? So the people of the Hebrews that were moving from Egypt to Israel were complaining in the desert constantly. Because they had to eat Krispy Kreme donuts every morning. Right? I'm not sure about that. But for 40 years, yeah, probably kind of get old, right? That and stale dove meat. But they complained, so what did God do?
Didn't he throw make like meatball? I think burgers.
That's the dove.
The dove.
Yeah.
Ball, and then when they ate it, they died.
No.
No.
If they kept it an extra day and ate it, they died. Yes. Or if they gathered too much. The specific instance I'm talking about, you're not wrong. It's just I was talking about a different instance.
Okay.
Is that God sent serpents
Yeah, he is.
and they got snake bit.
Oh yeah.
And what happened when Moses said, God, the people are in anguish, what do we do? What did God tell him?
Trust.
No, it's make
Yes.
a bronze serpent. And gaze upon it and you'll be healed.
Yes. Make a bronze serpent on a pole, and whoever looks upon it will be healed. Okay. After that, the people took that serpent and made an idol out of it.
Yep.
Okay? Now that idol is going to tell you the name here in a second, right? It says the bronze serpent that Moses had made, for until those days the people of Israel had made offerings to it, and it was called an Ahushtan.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. It wasn't the Lord that saved us. It was clearly this bronze idol. It could be no other thing.
Exactly. Now, I have to warn people and make a cautionary statement about this. Up on the stage, there are 3 crosses hanging there. There are people out there that say we treat those the same way that this was treated. I don't think so. That's not something. We don't worship the cross. We worship the one that was on the cross.
That's just a symbolize.
It's right. It's just a reminder that He's always with us.
Well, that and it's finished because of
It
what
is
happened
finished
on the cross.
That's right. Right. So, but I hear it all the time. Well, you Christians, you still, worship the idol of the cross. No, we don't. We worship.
We're not like, oh, magical cross, save us.
Exactly.
It's Jesus.
Mm-hmm. All right. Verse 5 then says this. It says, he trusted the Lord, the God of
Israel.
Be careful now. When he's talking about Israel like this, he's talking about the people, not the nation of Israel where the kings are bad, right?
Yeah.
So that there is none like him among all the kings of Judah after him, nor among those who were before him. Right? It's almost as if he's above, and I hate to say this, but it's the way it's written. It's almost like he's above reproach, unlike David. David had problems. It doesn't say that he didn't have any problems. It's just that he is, there's none like him even before him.
Well, I mean, it makes sense too, because he trusted in the Lord, capital L.
Yeah.
The one true Lord.
4, yep.
Let's just say that again here in 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm. For he held fast to the Lord, capital letters, Yahweh, right? He did not depart from following him, but kept the commandments that the Lord commanded Moses. Now, that's going back a ways, right? So he's doing good. He's not following the ways of the ones that were before him. He's following the ways of what God told Moses. That's very important. And especially when you think about this. Now, I said it a second ago. Make sure we understand. Relatively in time, we're coming to the end of the Old Testament. The end of the Old Testament is 400 BC. We're at 790, 785 BC right now. Okay? So, key things here to think about. How many books have we gone through? Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings. So we're only in the 12th book of 39. And we're almost out of time.
Well, I mean, we have the wisdom literature.
Yeah.
And we also have prophets that are going to be around the same time as this is happening.
That's the whole key right there. A lot of the rest of this is written at the same time this is.
Yeah.
So the rest of this, all the way through Micah, which I happen to turn to right there, Malachi, all the way to Matthew. So all of this, that's close enough. All of this It's happening right at the same time.
Tend to think there's churches that never even touch the Old Testament, except maybe to extract a children's story or such.
Or they argue that it's not real.
Not real.
Yes, I
Everything
have.
builds off of it.
I have heard preachers say that it was all just stories made up to make it sound better for what Jesus did for us.
But isn't there also people that only believe in the New Testament, do not believe in anything in the Old Testament?
That's exactly the ones I'm talking about. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. See, I got people that think the other way too.
Yeah.
They only trust the Old Testament. Nothing that's new. They don't want
Yep.
anything Paul wrote is just junk. I've heard people say that.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, I've heard people say that, like, that people worship Paul more than.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And Paul even says it though. Remember when we did in Corinthians? He said you don't follow Cephas, you don't follow Peter, you don't follow Cephas and Peter, the same one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
John or
Apollo.
Silas or Paulo. That's the one I was trying to think of. Thank you. Or me. You follow Jesus.
Yeah.
So Paul wanted nothing to do with that false worship stuff.
Right.
Right.
Well, and the thing too is like people get it really twisted. Peter was the witness to the Jews.
Mm-hmm.
Paul was the witness to the Gentiles.
Yes, he was. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's confusing.
Very much so. Very much so. So that's why I like studies like this where we can talk about things like that, because you'll hear it out there and people will go to arguing with you. There's no reason to argue. We know what's in the last book. What's the last book of our Bible?
Revelation.
That's one revelation, not multiples. So it's revelation, not shuns. Because I heard a preacher do that last night.
Don't shun me for it.
Yeah, I'm not. So, and it's the revelation of Jesus Christ to John, right? So I was challenged last night listening to this preacher. Okay, I'm a pretty settled guy. I teach. I have discernment. I teach you what it says. I challenge you to look for yourself. And what you won't hear me do is yell at you and beat you over the head with it. Well, I had to sit in front of a preacher last night. That's all he did, was yell and scream, and I don't put up with that very well. So, and he was talking about this passage in Revelation, but he kept calling it Revelations. No, it's the Revelation. So I started studying again the book of Revelation this morning. Not a smart thing to do when you hadn't had coffee yet.
Oh, it's. I've read it through the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had to reread several sections of it, and notes, and other things,
Yeah.
to finally be like, well, God's in your timing, okay.
Yep. And that's just it. Because what's happening in the world today, the world's falling apart. We got to be careful how we say it. That it's the book of Revelation coming true.
Right.
Well, yeah, it will come true, and we won't know it. That's the key. So
I keep coming back. Well, trust and obey.
Yeah.
There's no other
you
way.
should always have your lampstand oil ready.
Mm-hmm.
So stay after it, people. All right. So here we go. Where am I? 5, 6, 6. For he held fast to the Lord. He did not depart from them, but kept them of Moses. Right. Okay. 7. And the Lord was with him wherever he went out. He prospered. Now, that's a good thing, right? Then it says, he rebelled against the king of Assyria and would not serve him. That's pretty good, right? He struck down the Philistines as far as Gaza and its territory, from watchtower to fortified city. This dude is doing God's work, and he's pushing forward and taking back the land that belongs to the people, right? I always want to put this big word there, and it's not there. The word but is not there. In the 4th year of King Hezekiah, which was the 7th year of Hosea, the son of Elah, king of Israel, Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, came up against Samaria and besieged it. You know what the word besieged means?
Made war.
Made war. Encamped around it. So inside the city, they have no food. They have to go outside the city to get grain, to get water, stuff like. They can't now because besieged means they surround it, right? So you got to keep that image in your head, because look what it says. At the end of 3 years, he took it. And in the 6th year of Hezekiah, which was the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Israel, Samaria was taken. Then it says, the king of Assyria carried the Israelites away to Assyria and put them in Halah on the harbor. There's no R there. It's Haber. The word is Haber. On the Haber, the river of Gozan, and in the cities of Medes, because they did not obey the voice of the Lord their God, but transgressed his covenant, even all that Moses the servant of the Lord commanded, they neither listened nor obeyed. Did you notice there? He switched on you. He went from this good king of Judah, who was fighting against these people up there. Oh, and by the way, during the same time, this king of Israel, the northern territories, just kind of gave up and all the people have been captured. Did you catch that with those phrases? That's what happened. Because look what it says next. In the 14th, huh?
So he turned.
No.
No? Okay.
No. What I'm saying is the writer switched from talking about Judah to the king King Hezekiah, which is the 7th year of Hosea, came up against Assyria, right? Mm-hmm. Then he says the king of Assyria carried the Israelites away, because he's talking there about the 9th year of Hosea, king of Israel. Samaria. So he makes that switch right there. You got to keep watching. Is he talking about the king of Judah or the king of Syria? Okay. I mean Israel, right? Now, this next one I think is kind of fun. Listen to this. It says, in the 14th year of King Hezekiah, Sennacherib, that's not how you say that word, but the king of Assyria came up against all the fortified cities of Judah and took them. Okay, wait, now he's gone back to Judah, and now he's captured it as well. You may or may not remember that way back in the book of mathematics, Numbers, that it says that God would use Syria as a rod against Israel.
Yeah.
Here it is. Here it is right here. And Isaiah is going to refer to it as well when we get to that book, right? He says that Hezekiah, the king of Judah, sent to the king of Assyria at Lachish. That's an important name, Lachish, right? Saying, I have done wrong, withdraw from me. Whatever you impose on me, I will bear. In other words, leave my people alone and I'll pay you. I'll give you whatever you want. So it says, and the king of Assyria required of Hezekiah, king of Judah, 300 talents of silver and 30 talents of gold. Today, that's about $2.5 to $3 million. Okay? And Hezekiah gave him, and if we stopped right there, it would be okay. But look what it says. All the silver that was found in the house of the Lord and in the treasuries of the king's house. Oh, he took from the temple.
Uh-oh.
At that time, Hezekiah stripped gold from the doors of the temple of the Lord and from the doorposts that Hezekiah, king of Judah, had overlaid. And you'll read more about that in the book of Isaiah, I believe it is. And gave it to the king of Assyria. And the king of Assyria sent the Tartan, the Rabsaris, and the Rabascaria with a great army from Lachish to King Hezekiah at Jerusalem. And they went up and came to Jerusalem. And when they arrived, they came and stood by the conduit of the upper pool, which is on the highway to the washer's field. And when they called for the king there came out to them Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, who was over the household, and Shebna, the secretary, and Joah, the son of Asaph, the recorder. Y'all keeping up with all these names, right? It's on the test.
Go back there again.
Now, this verse I want to make sure I'm doing it right. So this guy that's by name that's called here Rabshakeh. That's not a person's name. That's a title. He is the one over the army, like a commander or general or something like that. That's not exactly right, but you get the idea, right? So these people are coming against Judah now, right? It says, and Rabshakeh said to them, "Hey, say to Hezekiah, thus says the great king, the king of Assyria, on what do you rest this trust of yours? Do you think that mere words are strategy and power for war? In whom do you now trust that you have rebelled against me? Behold, you are trusting now in Egypt, that broken reed of a staff which will pierce the hand of any man who leans on it. Such is the Pharaoh king of Egypt to all who trust in him." Remember I said that way back in Numbers that God said he would use Syria against Israel as the rod? Well, here's the next part of that same instance. And the reed will bruise the heel. This is it right here. So it's just a repeat of what was in the books long ago, right? But if, and all who trust him. 22. But if you say to me, we trust in the Lord our God, is it not he whose high places and altars Hezekiah has removed, saying to Judah and to Jerusalem, you shall worship before this altar in Jerusalem? So God had them build the temple, tabernacle, then temple, right? And all of the worship had to be done in Jerusalem at the temple. They made the altars so they didn't have to go all the way to Jerusalem to go to church, right?
Correct. They made the Dollar General.
They made exactly. Now Hezekiah has removed those, so the evil ones are saying, "Well, you removed your altars to your God. What have you got now?" Also, remember this. Jesus is walking along the road and sends his disciples on to the city to get food in Samaria. And he stays behind and talks to a woman.
A Samaritan woman.
At the well.
At the well.
And she says, "You Jews say we can't worship here." This is why. Hezekiah removed the altars that they were using to worship God. When you step back and you look at it all together, man, it floors me how things we would have just read across wouldn't have made much sense. But when you look at it from a bigger perspective, right? So it says here, how can you worry about that since Hezekiah has removed the places of your worship, right? It says, "Come now, make a wager with my master, the king of Assyria, and I will give you 2,000 horses if you are able on your part to set riders on them." Remember, he's there besieging them, right? He's already taken all of Samaria. Now he's down here messing with Judah. And he's like, "I'll give you 2,000 horses if you think you can do anything with them." Kind of like taunting them, right? Mm-hmm. He says, "How then can you repulse a single captain among the least of my master's servants, when you trust in Egypt for chariots and horsemen? Moreover, is it without the Lord that I have come up against the place to destroy it? And the Lord said to me, go up against this land and destroy it." So is God using him to destroy Judah? Right? How about this? Has God ever used people or allowed things to happen to places and they be destroyed?
Yeah.
Lachish is Nineveh. The city was destroyed and then rebuilt as Lachish. Remember I said that's an important city? So now you're starting to see, wait a minute. He went up there and he didn't do what he's supposed to do and he got swallowed by the big fish and because he was running away, and now he's back there, and they rebuild the wall, and everything's good. Well, it gets torn down again. I think this was in Deuteronomy when that happened, right? And now it's going to be rebuilt again when Nehemiah comes along and all that, right? But look what it says here. It says, this is the bad part. Woo! Then Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, and Shebna, and Joah said to the Rabshakeh, that's the person, that captain of the army, right? Said, please, huh?
The spokesperson?
The spokesperson, yeah. Says, please speak to your servants in Aramaic, for we understand it. Do not speak to us in the language of Judah, which would be Hebrew, within the hearing of the people who are on the wall. Wait a minute. Don't speak Hebrew to us, speak Aramaic. Back then, Aramaic was only for those that were well educated, and Hebrew was the common language. By the time Jesus gets here, it's reversed. Aramaic is the common language, and Hebrew is just set apart for the people. How cool is that? It's like God twists everything up, right? Okay, so do not speak to us in that. But the Rabshakeh said to them, has my master sent me to speak these words to your master and to you, and not to the men sitting on the wall, who are doomed with you to eat their own dung and to drink their own urine? Yes, I said it's the gross part, right?
Yeah.
Here we go. It's like,
So they're eating feces.
yeah,
Well, I mean, he's saying he's going to besiege them until that's all they have left.
exactly, because that's what they did up north.
Yeah.
And the people of Judah needed to understand that happened in Assyria or in Samaria is going to happen to you unless you take my word and serve my master.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then the Rabshakeh stood and called out in a loud voice in the language of Judah, Hebrew, hear the word of the great king, the king of Assyria. Thus says the king, do not let Hezekiah deceive you. Hezekiah's trying to protect him, right? Says, for he will not be able to deliver you out of my hand. I am greater than anything that you have. Even if I give you 2,000 horses, you still can't beat me. Taunting them, right? Says, do not let Hezekiah make you trust in the Lord. Oh, by saying the Lord will surely deliver us, and this city will not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. Do not listen to Hezekiah, for thus says the king of Assyria, make your peace with me and come out to me. Then each one of you will eat of his own vine, and each one of you from his own fig tree, and each one of you will drink the water of his own cistern, until I come and take you away to a land like your own land, a land of grain and wine, a land of bread and vineyards, a land of olive trees and honey, that you may live and not die. And do not listen to Hezekiah when he misleads you, saying, the Lord will deliver us. You can hear the mocking in his voice.
Well,
Look.
This is exactly how Satan operates too.
Does this not sound like a politician?
Mm-hmm.
Vote for me, and I'll make sure you have your own vineyard and your own olive trees and your own fig trees.
But the deception here is subtle. I mean, because each one of you will drink of your own, or eat of your own vine and your own fig tree and of your own cistern.
Mm-hmm.
Israel's not meant to have all these things as their own. These are all gifts from the Lord.
Absolutely.
And to trust in the Lord only.
Right.
The deception here is subtle.
Oh, man. And we fall for it even to today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Listen. Has any of the gods, little g, of the nations ever delivered his land out of the hand of the king of Assyria? Look at all the people that have fallen before us. None of them have survived. That's what he's saying. He's trying to strike fear into them, right? Where are the gods of Hamath and Arpad? Where are the gods of Seraviathim, Hinna, Eva? These are all gods that were worshipped by the heathens and the pagans, right? It says, where are the gods? Have they delivered Samaria out of my hand? Who among all the gods of the lands has delivered their lands out of my hand? That the Lord should deliver Jerusalem out of my hand. So he's telling them, nobody's been successful against us. What makes you think that you're, the word they can't say, Yahweh, be any different? And then there's the hope. 36. But the people, this time the word but's there. But the people were silent and answered him not a word. For the king's command was,
do not answer him.
Do not answer him. Then Eliakim, the son of Hilach, who was over the household of Shebna, the secretary, and Joah, the son of Asaph, the recorder, came to Hezekiah with their clothes torn, rent, right? King James likes to use that word, and told him the words of the Rabashakah, right? I say that word wrong, but it doesn't matter. Okay, look. All this happened, and now they've gone back to tell the prophet and the ruler of Judah, hey, this is what this guy's saying. So what do you think he's going to do?
Well, I mean, you're trying to leave on a cliffhanger here.
That's what happens every time because.
Wasn't it written
No,
in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel?
We'll go on then in 19.
Oh.
Just one paragraph, just so that you're still going to be teased. Here we go. As soon as King Hezekiah heard it, he tore his clothes. Rent, right? That means they're so upset, they tore their clothes. And covered himself with sackcloth and went into the house of the Lord. So, he ripped off the silk, put on a tater sack, and went into the house of God. Now we'll stop.
That's a good start, though.
It is.
It really is.
Alright, I don't know how we're going to do this. I'm going to humble myself and go to the Lord.
There you go.
That's a good start.
That's a wonderful way to put it. You know, he did everything right in the sight of the Lord. Even tore down all of the false places to worship. Now he hears that they're coming after him. So he tears off his robes, puts on sackcloth, and goes in to worship the Lord. I have nothing left. Tell me what to do. And that's actually what he does here. Okay?
He probably shouldn't have paid them tribute.
No. No.
Because it says it's what Ahaz done. And it's like, that was the critical mistake right here.
Yep. Very good. So, as we end this year, and this is what I told them earlier, next Wednesday is Christmas Eve. We won't have service. The following Wednesday is New Year's Eve. I won't be here, so we probably won't have service then either. And then we start the new year, and we'll be in chapter 19. Come January, what is it, 3rd? I don't remember the date, and my phone's turned off. Come January. First Wednesday in January, we shall.
I have to be back because I got it.
You gotta know. Now you have a reason. You can tell your daughters, "Hey, I'm sorry, I gotta go. We're fixing to get into a good part." Yeah. Any questions?
No, I mean it's.
I find Kings, 2 Kings and 1 Kings the hardest for me to focus on because all the names
and jumping back and forth.
Jumping back and forth, it's like my mind. It's harder for me, but as I write things down and go back and look, it's easier. But I understand everything that you have said. And
Yay!
I think sometimes when we go through these, we might not always understand it now, but God's like filling up our little memory bank, and He'll come back to us randomly in the future when God reveals it to us.
Yes.
So what I was talking about? There's another story in the Bible. I'm not sure.
There's a bunch of those.
We had talked about Something about meat had fallen from the sky when they ate it.
Oh yeah, so the Lord had given them a bunch of pheasants because they were complaining so
'Cause
loudly.
they had the manna, and they wanted
meat.
meat.
And then anybody who ate of the pheasants
They died. Okay, so I think that's what I was getting to.
Okay.
And yeah.
Well, part of it too is like the pheasants were dead and they had fallen on the ground, so they were unclean for them to eat anyways.
Yeah, you're not supposed to eat anything dead.
Right, you have
Or-
to kill it to be able to eat it, not find it on the roadside.
They can't
Or
be.
eat vultures. You can't eat them either.
Yeah. So, with that being said, we'll go ahead and turn off the camera and do our personal and private prayer request. I bid you all a great end of the year. Remember that what we celebrate this coming week is not the presents, but the presence, CE instead of TS.
Amen.
Right?